Now, first, what is the meaning of host? First, we are going to discuss about the meaning of the host. Okay. Now, when you look here in the given diagram, what you observe here, what you observe in this diagram. Now, where are the where is the fault planes? So here, these are the fault plane. These lines are the fault plane lines. Okay. Yesterday I have discussed what is the meaning of fault plane. Okay. Now fault plane means the line along which the displacement between two rock blocks is visible or seen. That line or that plane or that side is considered as a fault plane. Okay. Now here in this three-dimensional view, you can clearly recognize the sides along which the displacement is visible. Now the block which is above the fault plane is always considered as a hanging wall. So hanging wall is always above the fault plane. So if this is the fault plane, then this side is considered as a hanging wall. Okay. And the block which is below the fault plane is always footwall. Okay. So this is for this first fault plane. Now to this second fault plane, this the block which is above the fault plane is always hanging wall. The block which is below the fault plane is always footwall. Like this, there is alternate hanging wall and footwalls present. Okay, alternate hanging and footwalls are present in the host and graben type of the fault. Understand? Now, what is the actual meaning of host and graben? Now, when in a two parallel normal faults, the middle block is uplifted related to adjacent blocks to form a ridge. The structure is called as a host. Okay. Now here in this middle block, okay. Now when you look here in this middle block where I have drawn circle, in this circle what you see, there are three blocks. This is the first block, this is the second block, and this is the third block. Consider these three blocks: first, second, and third block. Now what you see in these three blocks, the middle block, that is second number block, is uplifted, and the side blocks, that is the first and third blocks, goes towards the downward direction, and the middle second block is uplifted. If you see such a type of the structure in the faulting where the middle block is uplifted and adjacent two blocks goes towards the downward direction, such a type of the faults are considered as a host type of the fault where the middle block is uplifted and the adjacent blocks are at the downward direction. Such a type of the structure or such a type of the fault is considered as a host type of the fault. Understand? Now, in the large mountain ranges where the maximum faulting are present, like when we consider our Indian example, the host and graben type of the faults are mainly present in Himalayan mountain ranges. Okay. In Himalayan mountain ranges, this type of the faults, host and graben type of the faults, are present in large numbers. Okay. So central block which is uplifted, it always shows the high mountain peaks. Okay. Because of the it raised at maximum elevation as compared to adjacent blocks. Okay. So this is about the host type of the fault. Okay, where the middle block is uplifted compared to adjacent blocks. Now we will see what is the meaning of the graben now. Okay. Now graben is similar to the host, but what you look here, this this middle block which is uplifted, that middle block is considered as a host. Okay, which is uplifted, that uplifted part is considered as a fold, and these depression parts, these middle depression parts are considered as a graben. Okay, now what is the meaning of graben? We will look here. Now when you consider these three blocks, suppose this is first, this is second, and this is third block. Now what you observe here, you can observe here that the middle block moves downward. Okay, the middle block moves downward, the adjacent two blocks moves upward direction here. So here the first and third block moves towards the upward direction, and the middle block moves towards the downward direction. That's why in these three blocks you can see the middle block is at the downward direction, and adjacent first and third block moves towards the upward direction. So it forms a depression at the center. Okay, it forms the depression at the center. That depression is considered as a graben. Okay, now you can clearly identify or understand the difference between host and graben. The host means the middle block is uplifted and adjacent two blocks at the downward direction, and opposite to that, graben means when the middle block goes towards the downward direction, adjacent two blocks moves towards the upward direction. Okay, it forms the depression at the center. Now when you look in the mountain region, when you look the mountain region where the host and graben faults are developed, what you see now, you can see such a type of the structure where the central blocks moves upward, it forms the mountain ranges. Okay, and where the central blocks goes downward direction, it forms depression. So here this graben shows the depressions, and the host gives the mountain ranges. Ultimately at the final stage you got the such a type of the structure. Okay, so this is the actual view of the cross section of the mountain ranges in the Himalayan region, where the host and graben faults are present in the maximum numbers or at a large scale, where the central block is uplifted. These central blocks use the mountain ranges, and this central block is considered as a host. Okay, where the when the middle blocks moves towards the downward direction, it forms the depression. That depression is considered as a graben. So alternate host and grabens are present in large faulted mountain belts like Himalayan mountain ranges. Okay, so when you got alternate depression and alternate elevation in the mountain ranges, such a type of the mountain ranges always show host and graben fault. You can't observe it from surface. Okay, because there are various difficulties to identify such a type of deep faults from the surface. When you see the cross section, you can clearly identify these rocks or this type of the faults in large mountain ranges. So this is about the last type of the fault, that is the host and graben. Only remember that host means the middle block is uplifted, and graben means the middle block shows the depression. So this is about the host and graben type of the fault. Now we will see actually in the field how it looks. Now these are the very small scale host and graben type of the faults present at various places. Now here Can you recognize which type of the fault is there? Now here, this is the fault. These are the fault planes. Okay, these are the two fault planes. Okay, now when you look these black color layer rocks, observe these black color layer rocks. What you seen here? The middle block is uplifted. Okay, and the adjacent blocks moves downward direction. So this is the which type of the fault? This is the host type of the fault, where the middle block is uplifted and adjacent blocks moves towards the downward direction. Okay, now we will see another example. Now look at this picture. Observe the feature. Now where you have to first identify the fault plane. So here this these are the two fault planes where movement is visible. Okay, now what you seen here, the middle layers moves downward. Okay, and adjacent layers moves upward. So here when the middle layers goes downward direction, such a type of the fault is considered as a Graben type of the fault. Okay, so these are the very small scale faults I have shown here. So this is about the fault, in which we have discussed from yesterday the definition of the fault, various parts of the fault. Then we have seen different types of the faults like normal fault, reverse fault. Then we have seen step fault, and today we have discussed about the post and Graben type of the fault. Okay. Now we will move towards our next point in the structural geology, that is the unconformity. Okay, first we have discussed in this unit about the strike dip. After that we have discussed about the fold and its type. After that we have discussed about the fault and its types, and now it's time to start our new content in related with the structural geology, that is the unconformity. In this we are going to discuss about the what is the meaning of unconformity, what are the different types of the unconformities which are important from your civil engineering point of view. Okay, now first we will discuss about the unconformity. What is the meaning of unconformity? Now it is a opposite word to the conformity. Okay, it is the opposite word to the conformity. Now what is the meaning of unconformity? Can anybody explain me in simple words what you know about the unconformity? Okay, I will tell you here. First we will look about the definition. Now what is given in this definition? The definition says that it is an erosional surface which separates younger series of rocks from the older series. Okay, this is the one definition. And what is the second definition? It is a surface of erosion or non-deposition within a sequence of rocks which indicates a gap or an interval of time in the geological history. Okay, so these are the two types of the uh, two definitions of the unconformity. Now we will see actually what is the meaning of unconformity. Okay. Now here in this diagram, this is a one type of the unconformity which is considered as an angular unconformity. First, we are going to discuss about the what is the meaning of unconformity now. Now, unconformity means it is a erosional surface which separates two series of rocks. Okay, I will show here. Now here, this line is considered as a unconformity, okay, which separates two series of rock. You can clearly recognize that the older rocks are always present below the unconformity. Okay, the rocks which are below the unconformity are considered as a older rocks because they are present below the unconformity, and the rocks which are present above the unconformity, these rocks are considered as a younger rocks. Always remember this point. That is, the rocks which are present below the unconformity are the older rocks, and the rocks which are present above the unconformity are the younger rocks. So younger rocks are above the unconformity, and older rocks are always present below the unconformity. This is the important point. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of unconformity? We have discussed. Here you can clearly recognize that the characters in older rocks and the characters of the younger rocks are variable. Okay, they are not equal. Okay, what you observe the difference here, you observe the difference here that the older rocks are inclined, means they are having some deep angle inclinations are present, and the younger rocks which are present above the unconformity, they are horizontal in layers. Okay, so you can clearly identify the difference in younger and older rocks. So such a type of the variations present, then that structure is considered as a unconformity. Okay, so unconformity means, we will see here, just a minute, I will hide this on the drawings. Okay, now what is the actual meaning of the unconformity? We will again discuss. It is an erosional surface which separates younger series of rocks from the older series. When you look here, we will look this diagram again. What is in the first definition? It is an erosional surface which separates younger series of rocks from the older series. Means here you can clearly see that these are the older rocks which are present below the unconformity. This dark black line indicates the unconformity, and below the unconformity older rocks are present. Above the unconformity the younger rocks are present, and this line separated to these older and younger series. So the line which separates younger and older rocks, that lines are considered as a unconformity line, and it is a erosional surface. Okay, it is an erosional surface. Okay, now how these unconformities are formed? Okay, I will show you here. Now first, the there was only horizontal rocks was present at the initial stage. Okay, that horizontal rocks are uplifted due to the earth's internal processes, like when magma erupts, trying to erupt from this place, it creates pressure on these horizontal rocks. That's why they are bent, and it forms the fold structure. Okay, so the fold structure are formed due to the pressure from the below side. Okay, after, when these folded rocks uplifted above the water, they undergo weathering and erosion. Okay, that's why the top surface of these folded rocks are eroded. Now here I will show here, this this is the unconformity, and because of weathering and erosion, this above surface is totally removed, and only this much surface is remaining after the weathering and erosion. Okay, after some years, again there is a deposition of the horizontal layers on that uplifted folded rocks. Okay, so here there is a two separate rock series are formed. The older rock series, which is the older rock series, which is at the some angles or inclinations, and younger rock series, which is in the horizontal layers. Okay, so two rock series are present, older and younger, and the line which separates younger and older rocks, that line is considered as an unconformity. Likewise, this process, the unconformities are formed. In the unconformity, we have seen that the meaning of the unconformity, where it is a erosional surface. Erosional surface means due to the weathering erosion, two different rock series are developed, younger rock series and older rock series. Now, what is the meaning of this second definition? It is a surface of erosion or non-deposition within a sequence of rocks which indicates gap or interval of time in the geological history. Means this line of unconformity this line of unconformity is erosional surface which show gap in the deposition. Gap in the deposition means after the formation of this unconformity, it takes too much time to the deposition of these younger series of the rocks. Okay. आता याच्यामध्ये आपण काय एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे, आय विल टेल यू इन मराठी. आय थिंक यू डोंट अंडरस्टँड ऑर इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टँड टू यू. अनकन्फॉर्मिटी म्हणजे काय असतं की सुरुवातीला असे ओल्डर सिरीजचे रॉक्स तयार होतात. ओल्डर सिरीजचे रॉक्स हे नेहमी अनकन्फॉर्मिटीच्या खाली प्रेझेंट असतात, बिलो दी अनकन्फॉर्मिटी, आणि यंगर सिरीजचे रॉक्स हे त्या अनकन्फॉर्मिटीच्या वरती प्रेझेंट असतात. अनकन्फॉर्मिटी म्हणजे काय असतं, इट इज ए इरोजनल सरफेस. हा इरोजनल सरफेस असतो जो ओल्डर सिरीजचे रॉक्स आणि यंगर सिरीजचे रॉक्स काय करत असतो, सेपरेट करत असतो. यंगर रॉक्स हे नेहमी अनकन्फॉर्मिटीच्या वरती प्रेझेंट असतात आणि ओल्डर रॉक्स हे अनकन्फॉर्मिटीच्या नेहमी बॉटमला प्रेझेंट असतात, बिलो दी अनकन्फॉर्मिटी. ओके. आणि अनकन्फॉर्मिटी लाईन काय इंडिकेट करत असते की गॅप इन द डिपॉझिशन मधला गॅप ते इंडिकेट करत असते. आता गॅप कधी असतो, आता तुम्ही जर या डायग्राम मध्ये जर बघितलं तर तुम्हाला काय बघायला मिळतं, सुरुवातीला पहिल्या डायग्राम मध्ये डिपॉझिशन झालेलं बघायला मिळतं, ते हॉरिझॉन्टल लेयर्स मध्ये डिपॉझिशन बघायला मिळतं. सेकंड डायग्राम मध्ये काय तुम्हाला इंडिकेट केलेलं आहे, अर्थच्या इंटरनल प्रोसेसेसमुळं हे हॉरिझॉन्टल रॉक्स अपलिफ्ट होतात. अपलिफ्ट झाल्यानंतर ते फोल्डेड फॉर्म्स मध्ये तुम्हाला कन्वर्ट झालेले बघायला मिळतात. दे आर converted in the folded forms. Okay. Now, after when these rocks are exposed to the surface, सरफेसला ज्यावेळेस हे एक्सपोज होतात म्हणजे वॉटरच्या वरती येतात, त्यावेळेस वेदरिंग इरोजनमुळे काय होतं, जो एक्सपोज झालेला पार्ट असेल तो रिमूव्ह होतो. रिमूव्ह झाल्यानंतर त्या ठिकाणी असं इरोजनल सरफेस तयार होतो. इरोजनल सरफेस तयार झाल्यानंतर जेव्हा ते पुन्हा वॉटरच्या अंडर जातात, त्याच्यावरती पुन्हा हे हॉरिझॉन्टल रॉक्स काय होतात, डिपॉझिट होतात. म्हणजे यावरून तुमच्या काय लक्षात येतं, अनकन्फॉर्मिटी इज अन इरोजनल सरफेस. अनकन्फॉर्मिटी हा इरोजनल सरफेस असतो जो काय इंडिकेट करतो, दोन रॉक्स मधला गॅप इंटरवल इंडिकेट करतो. डिपॉझिशन मधला गॅप इंटरवल ही अनकन्फॉर्मिटी काय करत असते, इंडिकेट करत असते. सो अनकन्फॉर्मिटी is an erosional surface which gives the non-deposition time. ज्या ठिकाणी नॉन डिपॉझिशन तुम्हाला बघायला मिळतं, that time indicates with the help of these unconformity lines. Okay. Now here we are going to discuss about the three types of the unconformities. Okay. There are three types of the unconformities present in the nature or in the different types of the rocks. Okay. Now, first type of the unconformity is considered as a angular unconformity. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of angular unconformity? Now, here these diagrams indicate the angular unconformity. In the angular unconformity, you can clearly see that the older rocks are having some inclinations. Okay, I will show you here with the sketch. Now, when you look here, the rocks which is present above the unconformity, they are in the horizontal sequence. Okay, so the younger rocks which are above the unconformity are in horizontal layers, and the rocks which are below the unconformity, they are with some inclination or some dip. Okay, that inclination is considered as a dip. We have discussed it earlier. Okay, so when such a type of the features are seen in the unconformity, where the older rocks are with some inclination and the younger rocks are always horizontal, such a type of the unconformities are considered such a type of the unconformities are considered as a angular unconformity, because it makes some angle to these unconformity. Okay, so this is the line of unconformity, and these are the older rocks which makes the angle here. So because of this angle, it is considered as an angular unconformity. Okay, the rock beds on opposite side are not parallel to each other. When you look here, above and bottom rocks means younger and older rocks. When you observe, they are not parallel to each other. Okay, so when such a type of the features are seen where older and younger rocks are not parallel to each other, then such a type of the unconformities are considered as an angular unconformity. So this is the process of formation of angular unconformity. We have discussed it earlier. Now, second type of the unconformity is considered as a disconformity. Okay, disconformity. Now here, I will show you here the line of disconformity here. Okay, now here you can clearly recognize that this is the line of unconformity, which is considered as a disconformity. Okay, now what you see here above the unconformity line and below the unconformity lines means below the older rocks are present here, these are the older rocks, and above the unconformity the younger rocks are present. Now what you observe in these two rock layers, younger rocks and older rocks, all the rocks which are present in the older series, the rocks which are present in the younger series, both are horizontal in attitude. Okay, all the rocks means above the unconformity and below the unconformity, all rocks are in horizontal position. Now what it indicates, it indicates that unconformity, younger rocks and older rocks, these three features are parallel to each other. Okay, three feature means unconformity, younger rocks and older rocks, all are parallel to each other. When such a type of the unconformities are seen where younger rocks unconformity line and older rocks are always parallel to each other, such a type of the unconformities are considered as a disconformity. Okay, disconformity means where the it is a type of unconformity in which beds above and below it are parallel to the unconformity. Okay, the younger and older beds are separated by wavy erosional surface. Okay, so always remember that in the disconformity, all the rock layers are parallel to each other. Okay, above, younger rocks, older rocks are horizontal in attitude, and they are always parallel to each other. Okay, so here this is the another sketch of the disconformity, where you can clearly recognize here the unconformity. I will show you here. So here this is the line of disconformity, first and second layer. This is the first layer, this is the second layer. These are the older series rocks because they are present below the unconformity, and this is the 6 and 7 number layers which are present above the unconformity. Okay, so what you see here, all the rock layers are more or less parallel to each other. That's why it is considered as a disconformity, where all the rock layers are present to unconformity. Okay, so such a type of the unconformity where younger rocks, older rocks, and unconformity lines are parallel to each other, such a type of the structure is considered as a disconformity. Okay, now we will move towards the third type of the unconformity, which is considered as a non-conformity. Okay, now it is a special type of the conformity where it is it indicates or it is present between two different types of the rocks. Two different types of the rocks means the rocks which is present below the unconformity are not layered rocks. Okay, in first two unconformity we have seen the above and below rocks are always in the layers, but in this third type of the unconformity, only rocks which are present above the unconformity are in the layers. The rocks which are present below the unconformity, they are massive rocks, means they are igneous or metamorphic rocks. And the rocks which are present above the unconformity, they are sedimentary rocks which are in the horizontal sequence. Now here, when bedded sedimentary rocks overlie the non-bedded homogeneous massive metamorphic rocks or igneous rocks, the structure is called as a non-conformity. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of non-conformity? In simple sentence or in simple words, we can describe that in the non-conformity, below the non-conformity line, the non-layered igneous sedimentary rocks are present. You can't see the horizontal layers below rocks. Okay, or the bottom rocks doesn't show any type of the layers, but the rocks which are present above the unconformity, they always show horizontal layers. So in the non-conformity, the older rocks are always igneous or metamorphic rocks which doesn't show any type of the layers, and the rocks which are present above the unconformity, they are sedimentary rocks, means sedimentary rocks are always show layers. Okay, so in the non-conformity, younger rocks are always sedimentary rocks which are always in the horizontal layers, and the older rocks are always igneous or metamorphic rocks which doesn't show any type of the layers. So the unconformity present in between sedimentary and metamorphic rocks or sedimentary and igneous rock. The unconformity which separates sedimentary and igneous rock, such a type of the unconformities are considered as a non-conformity. Okay, now here you can clearly identify that in this diagram you can clearly recognize the non-conformities. Okay, so here This is the line of non-conformity where bottom rocks are massive igneous rocks. Okay, here in this diagram you can clearly observe this is the line of non-conformity. Below, the older rocks are present, which doesn't show any type of the layers. And when you look, the younger rocks which are present above the unconformity, these are always present in the layers. Okay, so such a type of the unconformities where the older rocks are non-bedded and younger rocks are always bedded and horizontal. Such a type of the unconformities are considered as a non-conformities. Okay, so these are the three types of the unconformities. First, we have discussed about the angular unconformity. In angular unconformity, we have seen that the older rocks are with inclination, younger rocks are always horizontal. So they are not parallel to each other in the angular unconformity. In the second type, in the disconformity, we have seen that the younger rocks, older rocks, and unconformity lines are more or less parallel to each other. And in the third type of the unconformity, where we have discussed that the older rocks are non-layered rocks, means they are igneous or metamorphic rocks, and the younger rocks which are present above the unconformity, they are always in the layered position, means they are sedimentary rocks, and generally they are in the horizontal sequences. Okay, so this is about the three types of the unconformities: angular unconformities, disconformity, and non-conformity. Okay, now this is a single sketch where you can find different types of the unconformities here. Okay, now when you look here, I will show you here. This is the first type, this is the first unconformity. Okay, now where you can clearly recognize that below this unconformity, the non-layered rocks are present. Non-layered rocks are present, and above this unconformity, the layered rocks are present. Okay, so this is the first unconformity where the bottom rocks are non-layered, upper rocks are layered. Such a type of the unconformities are considered as a non-conformity. Okay, now when you look here, this is the line of unconformity. Now here, this is the line of unconformity. Below these unconformity, rocks are with some inclination, and above this unconformity, rocks are more or less horizontal. So this unconformity is considered as a angular unconformity where bottom rocks are with inclination and upper rocks are horizontal. Okay, so this is the angular unconformity. Okay, now here we can see the third type of the unconformity where this is the disconformity. The rocks which are present below this disconformity, that is rocks below the unconformity and above the unconformity, are more or less parallel to each other. So unconformity where the younger and older rocks are more or less parallel to each other, such a type of the unconformities are considered as a disconformities. So in this single picture, we can observe the three types of the unconformities, that is non-conformity, angular unconformity, and disconformity. Okay, now I will show you the actual views in the field, how the unconformities are visible in the field. Okay, now here in this first picture you can clearly observe that this is the line of unconformity. You can clearly identify the line of unconformity where the bottom rocks, means these are the older rocks, are with inclination means they shows the folding or inclination, and above that unconformity more or less the rocks are parallel to each other. So this is the angular type of the unconformity. Okay, so these are the some field photographs where you can observe the angular unconformity. Now here this is a disconformity where, so this is the surface. I will show you here with the spotlight. The spotlights indicates the unconformity line. You can identify that the bottom rocks and above rocks are more or less parallel to each other with this unconformity line. So this is a disconformity, okay, where all the rock layers are more or less parallel to each other. Okay, now here also you can observe that this is the unconformity line which marked with red lines. The rocks which are present below the unconformity, they are non-layered rocks, means they doesn't show any type of the layering. But when you look towards the upward side, you can clearly observe that the rocks shows the horizontal layers, more or less they show horizontal layers. So such a type of the unconformity where the bottom rocks are non-layered and the upper rocks are layered horizontal rocks, such a type of the unconformity is considered as a non-conformity. Okay, again I will show you here the you can clearly observe that these are the bottom rocks which are vertical or with some inclinations, and the above rocks are more or less horizontal. So this is again a angular type of the unconformity. Okay, so this is about the today's discussion regarding with the unconformity. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about the next content, that is the joints present in the rocks. Okay, so thank you very much for your cooperation. We will discuss the remaining part in the tomorrow's lecture. Just stay for here 1 minute. Okay, okay, thank you. You can view the meeting now.